Welcome. In this episode, we will understand the UPSC Civil Services examination syllabus and build a practical study plan around it. This topic matters because many aspirants do not fail only because of lack of hard work. Many fail because their hard work is not mapped to the syllabus. They read too many books, follow too many sources, and revise too little. UPSC preparation becomes clearer when you know three things. First, what the exam actually tests. Second, what each paper expects from you. Third, how to divide your time between basic books, current affairs, answer writing, tests, and revision. The Civil Services examination is conducted in three stages. The first stage is the preliminary examination, usually called prelims. The second stage is the main examination, usually called mains. The third stage is the personality test, commonly called the interview. Prelims is an objective type screening stage. Mains is a written descriptive stage. The interview is a personality assessment stage. These three stages are connected, but they are not identical. Prelims rewards accuracy, elimination, and wide coverage. Mains rewards understanding, structure, analysis, and written expression. Interview rewards clarity, honesty, awareness, balance, and administrative temperament. This is why one common mistake is preparing for prelims alone for many months and then suddenly discovering that mains needs a different skill. Another mistake is reading mains material without solving objective questions for prelims. The right approach is integrated preparation. Integrated preparation means that you first build common foundations, then add prelims practice and mains answer writing in a planned way. In this lecture, we will use the official UPSC notification and syllabus as our base. We will also discuss reliable sources such as NCERT textbooks, official government websites, PIB, India Code RBI, Niti Aayog, PRS, and previous UPSC papers. Treat this session like a map. You do not need to memorize every line immediately, but by the end, you should know where each subject belongs, how much it matters, and how to study it without getting lost. Let us first understand the structure of the exam. According to the UPSC Civil Services examination scheme, the preliminary examination has two papers. Paper 1 is General Studies. Paper 2 is the Civil Services Aptitude Test, commonly called CSAT. Both are objective type papers. General Studies Paper 1 is counted for selection to mains. CSAT is qualifying in nature, and the official notification states that the qualifying marks are 33%. This means you cannot ignore CSAT. It may be qualifying, but if you fail CSAT, your General Studies score will not save you. Prelims is only a screening test for mains. Marks obtained in prelims are not counted for the final merit list. The main examination has qualifying papers and papers counted for merit. The qualifying papers are one Indian language paper, where applicable, and English. These are important because you must qualify them, but their marks are not counted for ranking. The merit papers include essay, 4 general studies papers, and 2 optional subject papers. Each of these merit papers is written in descriptive form. The official scheme gives essay 250 marks, each general studies paper 250 marks, and each optional paper 250 marks. So the written merit total is 1750 marks. The personality test carries 275 marks. Therefore, the final merit is prepared out of 2025 marks. Do not rush past this structure. It tells you something very important. Prelims decides whether you enter mains. Mains decides most of your rank. Interview can improve or reduce your final position, but it cannot replace weak written preparation. This also tells us how to plan. In the first phase, build the common syllabus for prelims and mains. In the second phase, add prelims testing and factual revision. In the third phase, after prelims, shift heavily to mains answer writing, optional subject, essay, and ethics. But the foundation for mains must begin much earlier. A serious aspirant should know the full structure before opening the first book. Now let us break down the prelim syllabus. General Studies, Paper 1 covers 7 broad areas. First, current events of national and international importance. Second, history of India and the Indian national movement. Third, Indian and world geography, including physical, social, and economic geography of India and the world. Fourth, Indian polity and governance, including constitution, political system, Panchayati Raj, public policy, rights issues, and related areas. Fifth, economic and social development, including sustainable development, poverty, inclusion, demographics, and social sector initiatives. Sixth, general issues on environmental ecology, biodiversity, and climate change. UPSC clearly states that this area does not require subject specialization. 7th, General Science. Notice the words used by UPSC. It does not say that you must become a historian, geographer, lawyer, economist, biologist, or scientist. It expects a generalist understanding with the ability to connect facts, concepts, and current developments. For example, in geography, you should know monsoon basics, river systems, soils, resources, and location-based reasoning. In polity, you should know constitutional bodies, fundamental features of the constitution, parliament, executive, judiciary, federalism, local government, and rights. In economy, you should understand basic terms like inflation, fiscal deficit, monetary policy, growth, employment, poverty, subsidies, and financial inclusion. In environment, you need concepts such as ecosystems, biodiversity, protected areas, pollution, climate change, and major conventions. For history, study ancient, medieval, modern, and especially the freedom struggle with clarity. For science, focus on everyday science, basic biology, health, technology, and current science developments. The second prelims paper, CSAT, tests comprehension, interpersonal skills including communication, logical reasoning, analytical ability, decision-making, problem-solving, basic numeracy, data interpretation, and English language comprehension of Class 10 level. The common mistake is to think CSAT is easy for everyone. It is not. Aspirants from humanities backgrounds may struggle with numeracy and reasoning. Aspirants from science or engineering backgrounds may still struggle with comprehension under exam pressure. So give CSAT a regular weekly slot from the beginning. Let us now understand Mains General Studies. Mains is not just prelims with longer answers. It needs explanation, analysis, examples, and balanced conclusions. General Studies Paper 1 includes Indian heritage and culture, history, and geography of the world and society. Under history, you study Indian culture, art forms, literature, architecture, modern Indian history, the freedom struggle, post-independence consolidation and reorganization, and world history from the 18th century onward. You also study Indian society, diversity, women and women's organizations, population issues, poverty, urbanization, globalization, social empowerment, communalism, regionalism, and secularism. Geography includes physical geography of the world, distribution of resources, factors for industrial location, earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, cyclones, geographical features, and changes in these features. General Studies Paper 2 covers governance, constitution, polity, social justice, and international relations. This includes the Indian Constitution, its historical background, amendments, basic structure-related understanding, federalism, separation of powers, parliament, state legislatures, executive, judiciary, pressure groups, civil services, welfare schemes, vulnerable sections, health, education, human resources, NGOs, SHGs, transparency, accountability, e-governance, citizen charters, and India's relations with neighbors and global institutions. General Studies Paper 3 covers technology, economic development, biodiversity, environment, security, and disaster management. Here you study Indian economy, planning, mobilization of resources, growth, development, employment, budgeting, agriculture, food processing, land reforms, liberalization, infrastructure, investment models, science and technology, indigenization of technology, IT, space, computers, robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, intellectual property rights, conservation, environmental pollution, disaster management, internal security, cybersecurity, money laundering. General Studies Paper 4 is Ethics, Integrity, and Aptitude. It includes ethics and human interface, attitude, aptitude, emotional intelligence, moral thinkers, public service values, probity in governance, and case studies. GS4 is not a moral science essay. It tests whether you can reason ethically in administrative situations. Now let us look at essay, optional subject language papers and interview. The essay paper is counted for merit and carries 250 marks. It expects you to write organized, coherent, balanced essays. A good UPSC essay is not a collection of quotes. It has a clear interpretation of the topic, a logical structure, relevant examples, multiple dimensions, and a thoughtful conclusion. You should practice essays after you have some foundation in society, polity, economy, ethics, history, and current affairs. The optional subject has 2 papers, each carrying 250 marks. This means optional has 500 marks in the written merit total. The choice of optional is therefore important. Choose an optional by checking the official syllabus, previous years, question papers, your academic background, interest, availability of reliable material, and time needed for completion. Do not choose only because someone says a subject is scoring. The same optional can work well for one candidate and badly for another. The qualifying papers are also important. The Indian language paper, where applicable, and English paper test basic comprehension and expression. Since they are qualifying, many aspirants postpone them. That is risky. Give them some practice, especially if you have been away from formal language writing for a long time. The personality test is not a test of bookish knowledge alone. It assesses suitability for public service through your mental alertness, critical powers of assimilation, clear and logical exposition, balance of judgment, variety and depth of interest, social traits, and leadership-related qualities. This does not mean you should perform like a different person. It means you should become clear, honest, calm, and well-informed. Your detailed application form, your education, work experience, home state, hobbies, service preferences, and current affairs can all become discussion points. The best interview preparation starts during mains preparation itself. When you study a topic, ask yourself, what is the issue? What are both sides? What would a fair administrator do? This habit helps mains answers and interview answers together. Let us now discuss sources. The syllabus is large, but your source list should be controlled. For basic concepts, NCERT textbooks are useful because they explain fundamentals in simple language. For history, geography, polity basics, economics basics, society and science, NCERT material helps beginners build vocabulary and context. The Ministry of Education notes that ePathshala provides access to NCERT educational resources, including textbooks, so students can use official digital sources instead of unreliable scanned copies. For polity and law, use the Constitution of India, India Code, official ministry websites, and standard exam sources as support. For current government schemes and policy announcements, PIB is a primary government source, but do not read every PIB release blindly. Select releases related to economy, governance, international relations, environment, science and technology, agriculture, social justice, health, education, infrastructure, security, and major reports. For economy, RBI publications and official budget documents are more reliable than social media summaries. For laws and bills, PRS can help you understand legislative issues in simple language, but always remember that official text is final. For policy reports and development indicators, Niti Aayog and ministry reports are useful. For UPSC pattern, previous years, question papers are non-negotiable. They are the best guide to depth, framing and recurring themes. Here is a simple rule. Read one basic source, revise it multiple times, connect it with current affairs, and test yourself. Do not collect 10 sources for the same subject unless you have a specific gap. The syllabus rewards clarity, not hoarding. Make short notes only when they help revision. For example, in polity, make a one-page note on constitutional bodies, statutory bodies and executive bodies. In environment, make tables for national parks only if you also revise them. In economy, make a glossary of important terms. In history, make timelines for modern India and freedom movement events. Your notes should become smaller with every revision. If notes become bigger every month, they are not revision notes, they are another textbook. Now let us build a one-year study plan. This is a model plan. You can compress it or expand it depending on your starting point. Months 1 to 3 should be the foundation phase. In this phase, cover NCERT level basics and standard beginner material for polity, modern history, geography, economy, environment, and basic science. Start reading a newspaper or a reliable current affairs source daily, but do not spend 4 hours on it. 1 to 1.5 hours is enough for most beginners. Also begin CSAT once or twice a week. At the end of each week, revise what you studied. Months 4 to 6 should be the consolidation phase. Now move from basic reading to exam-style learning. Complete advanced standard sources where needed. Start solving prelims multiple choice questions topic-wise. Start mains answer writing with 2 or 3 answers a week. Begin optional subjects seriously, if you have not already started. Make short notes for current affairs. Months 7 to 9 should be the integration phase. At this stage, your general studies syllabus should not be completely new to you. You should revise, connect topics, write answers, and solve mixed tests. For example, when you study urbanization, connect it with geography, society, governance, economy, environment, and disaster management. When you study agriculture, connect it with economy, geography, food security, technology, irrigation, markets, and climate change. Months 10 to 12 should be the exam phase. If prelims is near, increase full-length prelims tests, revise static subjects, revise current affairs, and practice CSAT. After prelims, shift immediately to mains. Do not wait for the result to begin answer writing. The gap between prelims and mains is short and intense. In that phase, write answers daily, revise optional, practice essays, revise ethics examples, and work through previous mains questions. The most important part of a one-year plan is not perfection, it is revision. A subject read once is only exposure. A subject revised 3 or 4 times becomes exam ready. Let us make this more practical with a weekly timetable. Suppose you can study full time. Keep 6 study days and 1 lighter revision day. On a normal day, divide your study into 3 blocks. In the first block, study 1 core general studies subject. In the second block, study optional or another major subject. In the third block, do current affairs, answer writing, MCQs, or CSAT. A sample day can look like this. Morning, polity for 3 hours. Afternoon, optional for 3 hours. Evening, newspaper, current affairs notes, and 30 prelims questions. On alternate days, replace MCQs with 1 or 2 mains answers. If you are working or in college, use a smaller plan. Study 1 strong block before or after work, and 1 lighter block for revision or questions. On weekdays, target 2 to 3 focused hours. On weekends, do longer blocks and weekly revision. Do not compare your timetable with a full-time aspirant if your daily responsibilities are different. Instead, keep the same priorities: syllabus coverage, revision, questions, answer writing, and current affairs. Every week should include 4 things. First, static subject reading. Second, current affairs. Third, prelims practice. Fourth, mains writing or optional study. Every month should include 1 self-audit. Ask, which subjects are completed once? Which subjects are revised? How many tests have I taken? What are my weak areas? Are my notes usable? Am I ignoring CSAT? Am I postponing optional? Am I only watching lectures without active recall? Active recall means closing the book and trying to remember the answer. For UPSC, active recall is essential. After reading Parliament, explain it aloud. After reading Monsoon, explain it aloud. After reading Inflation, explain it aloud. If you cannot explain a topic in simple English, you have not fully understood it. Audio revision is also powerful. While walking or traveling, mentally revise lists, examples, and frameworks, but deep study still needs sitting with books, questions, and writing practice. Now let us discuss common mistakes. The first mistake is treating the syllabus as a decoration. Many aspirants download it once and never return to it. Keep the syllabus printed or saved. Before studying any topic, ask where it fits. The second mistake is reading without previous questions. Previous questions show UPSC's language. They show that UPSC often asks conceptual and applied questions, not only direct facts. The third mistake is ignoring mains until after prelims. This creates panic later. Even during prelims preparation, write a few answers every week after your basics are ready. The fourth mistake is making current affairs too large. Current affairs should support the syllabus. It should not replace the syllabus. For example, if there is a new climate report, connect it with environment, international agreements, disaster management, agriculture, and policy. Do not collect 10 pages of facts that you will never revise. The fifth mistake is weak revision. UPSC preparation is not a race to finish books. It is a cycle of reading, understanding, revising, testing, and improving. The sixth mistake is avoiding CSAT. Qualifying does not mean optional, it means necessary. The seventh mistake is choosing optional emotionally. Read the syllabus and previous papers before choosing. The eighth mistake is writing decorative mains, answers with no substance. A good answer usually has a direct introduction, relevant points, examples, and a balanced conclusion. Diagrams and flowcharts can help, but only when they improve clarity. The ninth mistake is relying on unverified facts. In UPSC, wrong facts can damage both prelims and mains. Use official sources for schemes, institutions, constitutional provisions, reports, and data. The 10th mistake is losing health and consistency. You do not need heroic study for 3 days followed by burnout. You need steady study for many months. Sleep, movement, and a realistic timetable are part of preparation. Finally, remember that UPSC tests maturity. Maturity means you can understand complexity without becoming confused, and you can take a position without becoming extreme. This habit should enter your preparation from day one. Let us end with a final recap that you can use for last-minute revision. The Civil Services examination has 3 stages: Prelims, Mains, and Personality Test. Prelims has General Studies Paper 1 and CSAT. CSAT is qualifying with 33% qualifying marks as per the official notification, but it must be cleared. Prelims marks are for screening and are not counted in final merit. Mains has qualifying language papers and merit papers. The merit papers are essay, 4 general studies papers and 2 optional papers. The written merit total is 1,750 marks. The personality test carries 275 marks. Final merit is out of 2,025 marks. The Prelims General Studies syllabus covers current events, history, geography, polity and governance, economy and social development, environment and general science. Mains GS1 covers history, culture, society and geography. GS2 covers constitution, polity, governance, social justice and international relations. GS3 covers economy, technology, environment, disaster management and security. GS4 covers ethics, integrity, aptitude and case studies. Essay needs structure and depth. Optional needs careful selection and serious preparation. Interview needs awareness, balance, honesty, and clarity. Your sources should be limited and reliable. Use UPSC notification and previous papers as the main guide. Use NCERT for foundations. Use official sources such as PIB, India Code, RBI, Niti Aayog, ministries and government reports for facts and current issues. Your study plan should move from foundation to consolidation, to integration, to exam-focused revision. Every week should include reading, revision, questions, current affairs, and some form of writing or optional work. Your preparation becomes stronger when you repeatedly connect static topics with current affairs. For example, connect federalism with current center-state issues. Connect agriculture with climate, economy, technology, and welfare. Connect ethics with real administrative dilemmas. The final message is simple. Do not fear the size of the syllabus. Respect it, divide it, revise it, and practice it. UPSC preparation is not about reading everything in the market. It is about understanding the official syllabus, using reliable sources, and improving steadily through revision and tests. Keep the syllabus near you. Let it decide what you read, what you skip, and what you revise. That is how a vast exam becomes a manageable plan.